What is going on, guys? UnlimitedCop here, back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get multiple pairs of shoes shipped to one address. And before we get into it, guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is Hunter, or UnlimitedCop. I make videos going over streetwear, buying sneakers, reselling sneakers, and my journeys throughout all of that. If you guys do want to get started sneaker buying and you don't really know where to start, I also have videos going over that. And as always, guys, if you do enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like down below and hit the subscribe button for more content. In this video, I'll be showing you guys exactly what you need to get multiple pairs of shoes shipped to your address and exactly how to do so. So without any further ado, guys, let's just hop right into it. So the very first thing you guys are going to need is a payment method. So unfortunately, guys, most of these websites have a one per card policy, meaning you can only buy one item per card that you have. Luckily, there are ways to get around this. We have a couple different virtual credit card providers, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to get multiple credit cards so you guys can have more physical cards. So the first thing is going to be virtual credit cards, which companies like Privacy, CapitalOne, and Citi that are going to allow you to have more virtual credit cards. They all have their pros and cons, but for the most part, there are going to be pretty good choices. If you are just getting started, I would probably recommend you go for Privacy. This guide is pretty easy to use and you don't have to have like a good credit score or anything like that. Unfortunately, with Privacy, there are a couple restrictions. The first is going to be you are going to have a limit on how much you can spend every day. When you first join, I believe it's $150. But as you grow that amount up, you can get anywhere from $15,000 to $5,000. And honestly, guys, I've seen people with $10,000, $15,000. So just know you are gonna have to kind of grow your Privacy account. So if you're buying something online, definitely be sure to use Privacy so you can get some money spent in there. There are a couple more restrictions about how many cards you can make in a day, but you guys can pay like $10 to $15 a month to get that upped. So that restriction doesn't really matter. The main thing about Privacy is the daily spend limit, which honestly you guys have probably seen it kick me in the ass a couple drops. So I probably recommend you guys use Privacy, but also have some of these other options as backups. The second option is going to be CapitalOne. Unfortunately, guys, you do need an actual credit card with CapitalOne to have this option. But if you guys do have a high limit credit card with CapitalOne, maybe somewhere around $5,000 to $10,000, you are going to be able to get virtual credit cards for that card. So basically all it's going to do is have a bunch of different credit cards going to that one card. So let's say you have 5 virtual credit cards, you caught 5 Yeezys on those cards, it's going to put that amount on your credit card. So that is going to be kind of annoying if you only have like $1,000 or $2,000 limit on your card. You're not going to be able to get more pairs unless you pay that amount off, obviously. So it's kind of like a daily spend limit, if you will. It might take a couple days to get that payment in for your credit card. So obviously the higher credit limit you guys have, the more pairs you can get. And the last option I'm going to be talking about in this video, guys, is going to be Citi. Citi does have a virtual credit card program, pretty similar to CapitalOne. Honestly, guys, I personally don't use it. I just heard some pretty good things about it. There's not too many restrictions, but just like CapitalOne, you do need an actual credit card with Citi to get this option. Just like Citi, guys, if you don't have a high credit limit, you're not going to be able to get too many pairs. But then again, if you have a $20,000 or $25,000 card limit, you can get a lot of pairs. Obviously, guys, there's a lot more than just 3 options for virtual credit cards. Obviously, do your own research, see what one works best for you. And if you guys do your own research and pick one that I didn't say in this video, be sure to leave it down in the comment section below. As far as physical cards go, guys, obviously you can go out and apply for a bunch of different credit cards, because the more physical cards that you have, the better. Obviously not for your credit score, I don't really know how that part works about it, but the more credit cards you guys have for copying shoes, the better. Because obviously physical cards are going to be a lot better than your virtual ones. I know one thing you guys can do is open accounts like Cash App. I know I have a Robinhood card, Revolut, just a bunch of different options to get like debit cards for your accounts. A little side note, guys, Revolut has virtual credit cards. Unfortunately, you can only make like 5, but they don't have a daily spend limit. Actually, they do, but it's super high, so you don't have to worry about that. So that's the fourth option if you guys want to get virtual credit cards. But like I was saying, you guys can open accounts with companies like that, and they'll ship you in like a debit card, if you will. So you guys can just put money on that account and be able to use it on other stores. I know another option for getting physical cards is Amex worker cards. I know a lot of people that have like a business account with Amex. Then you can get like 100 worker cards, like physical actual cards shipped to you. They're all going to be different numbers and all that stuff, so you don't have to worry about that. So if you guys have a business account with Amex, that definitely will be something to look into. Alright, guys, that's just pretty much it for payment methods. Once you guys have a couple different virtual credit cards, maybe some physical cards, you are going to be ready to go. Obviously, guys, it is going to be kind of a slow process. Maybe start out with like 10, 15 virtual credit cards. Then you can work your way up to a couple hundred. At the end of the day, guys, each card is going to mean a different pair of shoes, meaning the more cards you have, the more profit you can make. The next thing I want to talk about, guys, is emails. Now this is going to be a pretty short segment because there's not too much to talk about, but you guys are going to need different emails. Unfortunately, catch-alls, I mean, they're working on some sites, but to be safe, guys, I would highly recommend having different emails per each profile. Because if you guys are running Supreme, you can check out like 50 BOGOs or whatever. Catch-all is like supreme1@catchall.com or whatever. They're obviously going to see it's all going to the same place and most likely going to cancel your order. Personally, guys, I have a bunch of different real emails that I use just so I don't have any conflicts with that. If you guys do need different Gmails, obviously you can make your own, but if you guys are making like 20, 30 Gmails on the same IP address, they are going to get banned. So if you're manually making them, be sure to use the VPN, or you guys can buy them from a company. Little shameless promo, guys. I am going to be opening Omni accounts here pretty soon. I'll leave links down in the description below. So if you're watching this video in a couple weeks, definitely be sure to check it out. We'll have raffle Gmails where they're just basically fresh Gmails that you guys can buy. So you guys have different emails for each profile. Obviously, you don't need to buy them. You can make your own if you want to do that. Now, the last thing you guys need to get started is going to be addresses. Now, addresses don't really play a huge factor, obviously, because most of you guys probably live in a house, an apartment, or a condo, so you can just ship your shoes there. Later in this video, I'll be going through like how to jig your address, exactly what you guys can change, what you can't change to get the shoes shipped to your house, but the more addresses you guys have, the better. So if you guys can ship to like your grandma's house, your girlfriend's house, however many addresses you guys can get, the better. Obviously, make sure you trust this person because you're going to be shipping shoes there, so don't just pick like any random person to ship shoes to their house. Alright, so now that you guys know what you need to get started, let's hop onto my computer and I'll be showing you guys how to jig your address for each specific site. Alright guys, as you can see on my computer now, I obviously have Cyber up. I'm going to be showing you what you guys need to change for each specific site. So the first site we're going to be talking about is Supreme. Now, obviously, you can name your profile anything you guys would want because that's not going to matter. As far as the email address goes, like I said, be sure to have a unique email right here. Then for phone number, guys, I generally just do my area code, then do the other digits random, just like that. And guys, it is very, very important you have one per profile on. And for Supreme, guys, one per profile doesn't really matter because they're not going to let you have more than one. So if you guys do want to have it on, personally, I would suggest it. As far as the billing address goes, guys, be sure to have the name on your credit card or your debit card. Now for Supreme, I generally just do my actual address. So let's say it's 123 West Road. I'll do 123 W Road. It doesn't really matter how you put it in. And then for the address 2, I either do apartment 2, maybe you can do or condo 4, you know, it doesn't really matter. Obviously, don't put in like apartment 2, house 3, condo on the same line. Just do like one of them just like this, just like that, and usually, guys, that'll be fine. If you are getting 50 to like 100 items, like you're really, really killing it, definitely be sure to do something else. I know a lot of people that get a lot of items do like AAA or like 3 random letters before the address, and that seems to work. But if you guys are getting like 1, 2, 3, you should be pretty safe with doing apartment 2, house 1, condo 4, whatever you guys want to do like that. Also, guys, another thing just to be safe, if you have a road like this for one address, you can do it like that. Then for the next profile, be sure to do road. Maybe you can do west like that, and then you spell out west, actually, you know what I mean? All I'm trying to say, guys, is make your profiles as different as possible. Obviously, for the zip code, the city, and the state, and all that stuff, you can't change it, because if you change that or like jigged your zip code, you wouldn't be able to get the actual shoe. As far as the payment goes, guys, for Supreme, unfortunately, you can't use privacy. You will be able to use city and CapitalOne, but like I said, guys, we should use the same name that's on your card. I don't imagine they would cancel for the same name. In fact, they really couldn't do that, just because there's so many different names out there. So just be sure your profiles are different. Make sure to have the same name on your card, and then obviously use a different card for each profile. Then the next site we're going to talk about, guys, is foot sites. Now, foot sites, guys, recently have been canceling like crazy. With the new agent payment processor, they've been honestly just killing multiple profiles. So it's very, 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 very important that you guys have different information for each profile. So I want to show you guys exactly how to do that. So obviously, guys, like last time, the profile name doesn't matter. Your email address has to be a different email per each profile, and make sure it's a real email. Generally, what I do, guys, is buy an email that has like a real first and last name on it. So then I use that email in here. Obviously, you can still do a random phone number, just make sure it's the same area code as you. And then for the first and last name, I put the name that was on the email. Let's say our email is johndoe123@gmail.com. I make sure the first and last name right here is John Doe. As far as jigging your address on foot sites go, it's honestly pretty hard right now, guys. What I usually do is I do my normal address, then I do like condo 5, house 1, house 2, just like Supreme, except I try to change it up literally as much as possible. So if it's like West Road, I do like that. I do West Road, and you can throw a couple dots in there. Maybe if you want to misspell road and add another D, just literally change it up as much as possible, but don't get too crazy with it because they definitely will see that like you're doing road with like 7 Ds or something like that. Just make it simple, but just make sure each profile has a different jigged address. As far as payment methods goes, guys, you're definitely gonna need one payment per shoe. I know privacy does work. CapitalOne, all those cards I went over in the beginning are going to work, but just make sure you guys have a different card for each profile. And last but not least, guys, like a general overview, whether it's Shopify, Hibbit, and pretty much every site that had bot protection or something like that, this one will be for you guys. So the profile name does not really matter. Obviously, the email, most of the time the email can be a catch-all for these other sites. Again, do not recommend it. I would highly suggest either using your normal emails or just generate some or buy some different emails. Again, guys, just make sure your area code is the same, and then you can do the rest of the digits random. For the delivery address, guys, you can do a different name. Obviously, I'd make it kind of match the email if possible. For jigging the actual address, just like the other two, gonna recommend you have your address here. You do condo 1, condo 2, house 2. I know some people like to do like 3 random digits in front of the address. If you're buying on somewhere like Hibbit, I would highly suggest doing 3 different letters in front of the address, and then obviously you can have your normal address. Again, guys, you can't jig the address for the city, the zip code, and the state. obviously. And then for the payment method, just like the other sites, you're going to make sure you have one per card. If you're buying a site like Easy Supply, generally they don't really care how many you get per card. I mean, I wouldn't suggest getting more than 10 per card. Personally, I think I've got like 9 or 10 shipped on the same card. So if you can't afford to have different cards on Easy Supply, I would highly suggest doing so. But if you only have a couple cards, you will be fine. Guys, please do keep in mind that it is for Easy Supply. If you're buying something like Hibbit, Shopify, something like that that has bot protection, definitely be sure to have one per card. And the last thing is, guys, if you're buying a site that has bot protection, definitely be sure to have ones per checkout on. Because if they see you check out 2 pairs of shoes, they're going to think something's up, and most likely you're going to cancel both of the pairs. Alright guys, that is pretty much it for this video. If you guys have any questions or anything that didn't go over, be sure to leave them down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, if it did help you guys out in any way, please be sure to leave a like down below and hit the subscribe button for more content. Also, guys, if I was unclear about anything in this video, definitely be sure to leave a comment down below. I'll definitely be sure to do my best to reply to you guys. And also feel free, guys, to hit me up on any of my social medias. I have a bunch of DMs right now I'm trying to get through. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'm UnlimitedCop, and I'm out.
Yeah, I run my city without running shoes. You ain't gotta wonder who. All these rappers sound the same. Damn, there is a ton of you. I just smirked the competition, did it right in front of you.